To the parents in the back, I feel you're getting a little bit nervous. There's a lot of conversation here about INSEAD parties, trips to Bali. I want to assure you this is a very serious academic place, and I'm doing it with a straight face. But I'd like to give this moment to recognize excellence in academics, which is something that we take very, very seriously. There are those amongst you who have performed so well, they're in the top 10% of the class, and we put the top 10% of our class on what we call as the Dean's List. At this point in time, may I please request the members of the Dean's List for the MIM class of 2026 to stand up so that everybody can applaud your achievements. I hope by doing this, I have only recognized your achievements and not created embarrassment for the reunions. No, we really value what you've done. Now, in the academic achievement world, there is a special place for the recipients of the next award. It is my pleasure to give out the awardees for the Dean Miho and Professor Payer Prize, which is awarded at INSEAD for the recognition of the student with the highest GPA amongst all of you. This year is special because we don't just have one, we actually have two who got the highest GPA. And when you come on stage, Francisco will take a quiz and then we'll decide the actual winner. So, the recipients of this year's the Dean Miho and Professor Payer Prize for the highest GPA. Bawer Betasi from the Netherlands. You have to come up. And like I said, there are two. Matejo Kempenaers from Belgium. I'm going to invite them to share a few of their thoughts with all of you.
Dear INSEAD family, when I stepped off the train and first set foot in Fontainebleau last August, I had no idea what I was walking into. That first morning, making my way to campus as the summer sun rose, I felt the familiar fear of being somewhere completely unknown. Everyone around me was a literal stranger, some wearing curious smiles, others nervous frowns, all of us trying to figure out what came next. I never could have imagined that months later, I'd be stuffing myself with countless baguettes and croissants in Paris with these same people. That I'd be falling down ski slopes every 2 minutes alongside faces that were no longer strange. That I'd be exploring Beijing with friends from all over the world. Or that I'd be standing here today, giving a goodbye speech to what has become my INSEAD family. While I came here looking for a master's degree, I found something far more valuable. A new family. A family scattered across the globe. A family that's ambitious and driven, tries new things, yet can also be completely laid back. And a family that has a strong opinion on Swiss train policies. Above all, it's a family that shows up when it matters. A family that's 200 people strong.
It's true. This year brought us together as a family. But we didn't start out that way. At the beginning of the program, Thibaut Seguret gave us a metaphor that stuck with me. He told us that this year would be like a buffet, filled with choices, and it was up to each of us to decide how we want to fill our plates. At first, I thought it was a bit cliché. But now, looking back, I realize how true it really was. Because even though we all went through the same program, no experience was the same. I could have never imagined that I was going to learn about the underground world of cockfighting in the Philippines, or that I was going to be eating crickets, worms, and even turtle in Cambodia. But beyond the travel stories and personal adventures, this year has been, without a doubt, the most educational year of my life. I came into this program having taken just one economics class in my undergrad, where we didn't go any further than drawing two straight lines and calling it a supply and demand curve. But after a full year of classes at INSEAD, I'm afraid to say that I have now become my worst fear. A finance bro.
Over the past year, we've experienced every emotion imaginable. We've shared countless moments of laughter. We've had group hugs and crying sessions. We've felt angry, frustrated, and disappointed. We have known hopelessness, exhaustion, and some of us even complete burnout. But we've also built up our resilience, felt deep pride in our progress, experienced gratitude, were inspired, felt relieved, and now stand here accomplished. Throughout it all, we've been juggling an impossible number of demands. Academic pressures and exams demanded our attention, while we also tried to build meaningful connections with each other. Our career ambitions pulls us in another direction entirely, consuming countless hours practicing interviews and sending in applications as we work to secure our futures. Meanwhile, we knew we needed to protect our physical and mental health, a task easier said than done. And through it all, family and friends back home were waiting for our calls and visits we could barely find time to make. It's only fair to say that we've all pushed ourselves to new limits this year, both academically and personally, but we didn't do it alone. And it was only through opening up to each other that we discovered we were all facing similar struggles. And there's no shame in that vulnerability. On my end, I remember several nights in Fontainebleau when I would enter my room, drop my bags, and literally collapse on my apartment floor. With a headache and soreness all over, I would genuinely question every single decision that had brought me there. In those moments of doubt, closing my eyes and literally sleeping on the floor was my only escape from all the uncertainty. But there was always tomorrow, and with every hard moment came the warmth of walking into an amphi and seeing all of you there, knowing that no matter how difficult things got, I wasn't facing the struggle alone.
That last part explains INSEAD's most valuable resource, its people. We wouldn't be here without INSEAD, but INSEAD wouldn't be here without us. It's the friendships that were created through the countless group projects, discussions, and of course parties that truly defined this experience. Because when we think back on this year, we will not just remember the name of the guy who wrote the first book on strategy 2000 years ago, but we will also remember who we were sitting next to when we learned it. We will remember the classmates who helped us prepare for interviews, those who we spent late nights with working on assignments, and of course, those who paid for your hawker center food when you didn't have any cash on you. We're graduating not just with a degree, but with a global network of driven, kind, smart people. People who will build companies, lead industries, and support one another through it all. So as we scatter across the world, let's remember that we're not just alumni of a business school. As Bawer mentioned, we're part of something much more powerful, a family. And having a family around the world will not only save on costs for hotels, but also remind us that no matter where we go, we will never really be alone. Whether you're running your own fashion brand out of Paris, becoming a full-time trader in Dubai, or doing impact consulting in South Africa, chances are an INSEAD friend will not be far away. ready to share a drink, give advice, or offer a couch to crash on. That is rare, that is unique, and that's something we should hold on to tightly.
And now we're here, everyone. All of our journeys, however unique they may have been, have led us to this point, right here in Singapore on a Saturday in June 2025. If you had told me that I would be standing here 2 years ago, I would probably tell you that you're out of your mind. Ask me 10 years ago, and I wouldn't even know where Singapore would be on the map. But I've always been ambitious, just like many of you. Yet life has a way of dealing us difficult hands every once in a while. For me personally, my story began as the child of refugees who had recently settled in a small rural Dutch town. When I was 9 years old, my parents were no longer able to care for me, leaving my brother to step into that role. Around that time, school became very difficult too. I nearly failed high school entirely and had to make my way up the ranks, taking my final exams 3 times before I could finally graduate. On the surface, you might think that I'm telling you this because hard work and willpower is what brought me here. Sure, that's part of it. But here's the thing. Everyone knows how to work hard. What's more important is believing that your hard work will pay off. Through all those hardships, I never let the kid with bigger dreams inside me die. And although we're all getting older, I hope each of us keeps dreaming. Here's what I want you to remember. You can do anything you put your mind to, and I truly mean anything. You are in full control of where life takes you. Every second matters because it can lead you to where your dreams lie. But here's the bad news. It comes with a caveat. Urgency. You see, our dreams are like plants that need regular watering, and those drops of water are our actions. Neglect the plant, fail to take action, and something devastating happens. That inner child stops speaking to us. The plant withers away. We begin accepting a diminished reality where maybe we're not meant to fulfill our dreams. Maybe where life simply doesn't work that way, where hating your job is just how life works when you're an adult. Our time here is finite, everyone. Keep delaying those dreams and we risk forgetting what we once aspired to become in the first place. So please, don't let that inner kid in you die. After all, it's not our goal to change our dreams, but it's our duty. We have a duty to fulfill our purpose and to do it right now. We only have one life, so please, let's make it count.
While chasing our dreams takes urgency and courage, it also takes something else, awareness. We've come a long way, but there's still a very long road ahead for all of us. And when I think about the future, there is one concept in particular that never ceases to amaze me, the butterfly effect. It's a belief that a flutter of a butterfly's wings can cause a hurricane on the other side of the world. Because I failed biology in high school and I know nothing about weather forecasting, I like to explain it this way. It's a reminder that even the smallest actions can result in outcomes that completely change the course of one's life. And it is exactly because of this reason that I'm here today at INSEAD. 4 months before I was accepted into this program, I had never even heard of the name INSEAD. I only found out about it through a random conversation with a friend of my girlfriend. So if this wasn't randomly brought up during that conversation, I would have never really applied to this program. And if I didn't have my girlfriend, I would have never had that conversation. And if I hadn't joined one of the many student organizations at my university, I wouldn't have a girlfriend. I can keep going on like this, but I hope it's clear that even the most random experience has had significant impact on who and where we are today. So the butterfly effect is a way for us to appreciate every precious moment, every conversation, and every decision that we make in the present, knowing that one day in the future we may look back and realize how important it really was. And that's the message that we would like to leave you with. As we step into this world, we're each carrying with us the power to set things in motion, through our ideas, our values, our relationships, and our actions. So let's make good use of it and embrace the uncertainty. Let's be intentional with our words and generous with our time. Because the future isn't just shaped by the big decisions we make, it is built moment by moment through the quiet choices that may seem insignificant today, but ultimately define who we become tomorrow. To all of you, thank you for being part of our journey. We cannot wait to see what hurricanes you will all create. Thank you.
Thank you, Bawer and Matejo, for that very powerful valedictorian speech. And since Matejo talked about butterflies, let me flutter some wings here as well. Our application for our PhD program is opening soon for next year. Had you not mentioned it, you never know, your life may completely change.